What's up, everyone? Welcome to a new episode of Something in the Water podcast. I am Cracka, and this is
Desko Martin, and today we have a special guest.
Mando Gutierrez.
I was gonna have you say that the Mexican side. Sound like some rolls and R's.
Yeah, man.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Good. So tell the world, for people that are seeing it for the first time right now, how would you? What's like the long story short version of who you are and what you do?
Long story short, Mando El Toro Gutierrez is what they call me. I'm an MMA fighter, artist, barber. Basically anything that involves art, I do it. That's it. That's basically long story short.
You're definitely creative.
I try to be.
Yeah. Have you always been creative?
Yeah, man. Ever since I was a little kid, like I was the kid in the classroom, like drawing on the piece of paper and stuff like that. You know, I was always I started cutting hair when I was 12. So,
Dope.
you know, I mean, that's kind of where it all really, really kicked off. I was drawing way before that, but when I got into cutting hair, I realized I was like, everything's an art medium if you got the balls to do it, you know? So I got into that, got into graffitiing. I won't talk about that too much 'cause I ain't trying to get in trouble. But I mean, I grew up like just tagging stuff up, just doing a little bit of everything, you know? Right now, my new thing is I just got a tattoo machine and I'm all into the tattoos
that's
now,
what's up,
you know?
man.
I mean, obviously you can't tell I'm completely covered, but I'm covered in tattoos. So,
Okay.
yeah.
How old
So,
were you when you got your first tattoo?
Not till I was 19, bro. I had some strict ass parents. My parents are OG Mexican parents, so I didn't really get a chance to do any of that.
What was your first tattoo?
My first tattoo was like a little A right on the inside of my arm. It's kind of like the brand that my family be giving their animals in Mexico. So that was like that's where the idea came from. And I just drew it up all sharp and nice and put that on there.
Do you have tattoos?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Oh,
got
yeah.
a couple
You got the
tattoos.
hands?
Yeah.
How old were you when you got your hands tattooed?
I can't remember. I think like 17.
I was checking to see if you had any hand tattoos.
Nope.
Are you gonna?
I want to, but the thing is, I kind of want to wait till I promise my mom that you won't see no tattoos when I get married. So
okay.
can't have no neck tattoos,
Yeah.
no hand tattoos.
Yep.
Like y'all, by the end of this podcast, y'all gonna get the idea. My parents are OG, so they don't mess around with that.
For sure.
And on top of that, my tattoo artist is super old school. So he's like, bro, I'm not tattooing your hands until everything else is done. Like, I'll
Yeah.
tattoo your hands, but I'm not gonna be the dude that tattoos your hand when you don't got no other body parts on you.
Yeah. So tell me about, when did you start fighting then?
I started fighting when I turned 20. My first fight was right after I turned 21.
Okay. And were your parents okay with that?
No, not necessarily. It took my mom 7 fights before she actually came to watch me.
Man,
My
that's
dad's always
crazy.
been a rider. My parents are super supportive, but neither of them was fond of the idea. But I wrestled my whole life, you know? So it
Yeah.
kind of like, that was like what warmed them up to it.
Yeah.
And then obviously they knew I was serious about it because what a lot of people don't know is when I started fighting, I'm from originally born and raised in Chicago. So I mean, I wrestled my whole career, went to school, wrestled there, didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So I needed that new thing, you know, that new avenue. I tried powerlifting. That wasn't really filling that void for me. I tried doing other things and it wasn't filling the void. So I got all depressed and shit, you know. So I just decided it was time to, like, I wrestled my entire life and I had nothing to show for it other than a bunch of trophies and medals that I didn't really care about anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like, might as well make some money off of this, man, you know? So I was searching up online like the best MMA teams in the area. And at the time, Chicago didn't really have a whole lot going on. They didn't have a lot of motion when it came to MMA. But there was this team called Murcielago MMA who was ranked #1 in the Midwest at every weight class except for my weight class, which at the time was 145.
Okay.
And I was like, that's where I got to be. So I moved out here. From that moment to fast forward 1 week, I'm in my car driving. No friends, no family, no house, no job, no nothing. I just packed up my car and I drove out here. Like, and I was willing to live in my car to start training full time because I just had nothing else, you know? And I just put all my eggs in that basket and thank God it worked out.
How do you feel about Lansing, coming from Chicago?
I tell people all the time, I'm like, the same reason I hate it is the same reason I love it.
Yeah.
I can't, it's real easy for me to stay on my grind and not get in trouble.
Yeah.
You know? There's
so
nothing
little to do.
Yeah.
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 It's like focus on the craft.
Hell yeah, that's for sure. I mean, so I just dove in full speed, you know, but I've been really blessed, man. Like, I got this thing. I've always believed that, like, you work hard, control what you can control, and everything's going to fall into place. And I did that. I worked hard. I control what I can control. And I met like-minded people. I met great people that have pointed me in the right direction, that have helped me in every aspect of my life, that became great barber clients, became great teammates, became great MMA supporters, whatever the case, whatever you want to call it, you know. And like I have a perfect little network here now, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So it's real cool, and it really did become like home to me. And I mean, I'm comfortable, you know. I'm in a good spot. It's nice and cheap to live here, so it's easy for me to pick up and travel and go wherever I want to go. Like
Yeah.
you guys know how it goes, man. Like if somebody calls you for a gig somewhere else, you're gonna go. You know,
Mhm.
I don't even second guess it. Like if it's time to go help somebody train for their fight and they're out in Vegas, let's go. If they're in Houston, cool. Like I'm
Yeah.
wherever.
How do you feel about living in a big city
Um,
or living in Lansing, or like, do you have desires to get the hell out of here or stay
yeah,
here?
so I
Or-
lived in Detroit for a while. I miss it a lot. I think when I was there though, I miss Lansing a lot. I just feel like it's easier, like he kind of said, it's easier to stay focused and it's easier to know like there's no point in going outside. Let me focus on everything I got going on right now if there's no other distractions. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I do miss like a bigger city because like the food's better. You know, there's more things to do, but it's definitely, I think, whatever type of mindset, whatever type of season you're in, I feel like that's kind of like based on where you want to be at. So right now, Lansing for me is the perfect place too, because all I get to do is focus. Really.
Yeah. I remember I felt the same way because, like, I think there was a time we were in New York City. And for me, anytime I travel, and it might only be 4 days or 5 days or a week, but it's like nonstop.
Yeah.
So I think we were in New York City and like staying up crazy late, getting up early, going here, going there, always shooting stuff. So it was fun.
Yeah.
And I felt like so productive
Yeah.
because it was like, I'm alive, man, time of my life, or
Mhm.
getting all this stuff done. But then I think about like, imagine if tomorrow was like my daughter had school and me getting up and the routine stuff. So I like living here. Like you said, it's low cost, it's where we're from. I mean, yeah, crime could be what it is, but I think as long as you stay out of the way, you know, and you're in the places where you need to be and staying away from the places that you don't need to be, then you're more focused. And I like to then get the hell out of here, go crazy for like 5 days straight, get a whole bunch of stuff done, and then come back here and
Yeah.
get groceries and shit. Like you know, slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I like that balance.
Yeah. I mean, I just got back from Mexico, and like I go to Mexico like 3, 4, sometimes even 5 times a year. And when I go for a couple weeks at a time. This time in particular, I was gone for 3 weeks, but we drove there, so it ended up being a little bit closer to 4 weeks total. And dude, the feeling of being back and just getting everything set again, bro, it's the best, man. I
Yeah.
thrive off routine, you know.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
if I'm gone, I try to mimic that routine as much as I can, but it's not the same, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
it's
gotta
so hard.
you scramble to find a good gym. You scramble to find a good place to go get all your groceries, a good place to cook, or a good time to cook, even, you know. And I mean, I was just out there. Half of the time, I was out where my girl is from, so it was new to me, and that's
She's
where.
from Mexico?
Well, both of our families
All right.
we're both first generation, so we grew up going there all the time, you know. So we're actually from bordering states. I'm from Jalisco and she's from Guanajuato. So I took them for a week and a half to see where I'm from, and then we went to where they're from for a week and a half. So it was real cool, you know. But it was a lot easier when obviously I was the one in control. I was the tour guide. I was the one that knew
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah.
And when we went to where she's from, like
It's a little
all of a
different.
sudden I gotta
Yeah.
wait for everybody because now I don't know.
Yeah.
And when I'm on vacation, man, you know, if you traveled with people, you know, it's like a tug of war between people because people move around different, and I'm on go 24/7. If I'm on vacation, like I'm trying to enjoy it.
Mhm.
So I'm up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, ready to go. Naturally, I just wake up early, and her family ain't ready to get out the house till like 12, 1.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
Yeah.
this most recent trip to Mexico
Yeah.
wasn't a vacation, right? So
Nah.
what did you have done this time?
So I went down there to get stem cell treatment because I in my last fight on November 12th, I messed up my neck pretty bad, and it was pretty extensive damage done. A lot of it's been cumulative, you know, since I was in high school, college, like coming from a wrestling background. Like I wrestled my entire life. Like it's not easy on your body, so I feel like a grown ass man. And I'm only 26. But long story short, I have 2 herniated discs in my neck and spinal stenosis. So for people that don't know, basically that's just it's extreme tension on the nerves in my spine, you know? So obviously it comes with complications. In my case, it made it really hard to breathe and my arms went completely limp in the middle of the fight. So yeah, it was a pretty big deal.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
and coming from 2 10-8 rounds where I was I was winning by a landslide, and then in the third round I can't even move my arms and I'm just getting punched in the face for free. I'm
Damn.
just like, damn, it kind of sucked, but I took matters into my own hands. You could sit around and dwell on stuff, or you can go
Yeah.
do something about it. And I figured the sooner I got back into PT, the sooner I got in the hospital, like taking care of this stuff, the sooner I'd be back. So I went, got it handled, started physical therapy, and then this last step right here was the stem cells. And let's just say now I know why they're illegal in the U.S., man,
Yeah.
because it's a full recovery and damn near automatic. It's crazy.
Like when you say automatic, how fast? Like let's say you just got it done, and how long was the process or the procedure?
Altogether, you can go different ways about it. In my specific instance, it was 3 sets of shots in your vertebrae, like or right outside the spine, and then like a stem cell IV that they put directly in your arm, and it was just a quick little hour-long procedure. So I just went about my day. They just told me to stay off of it for a few weeks, keep going with my PT and stuff like that, obviously. But fast forward 3 weeks later, after the shots, I'm back to full speed training. This was actually my first week back in the gym, full
It's
speed.
amazing.
Day one, full speed. And I'm talking about like not just full speed, like training like I used to. I'm talking
Better.
about better than I used to. I wake up in the morning for the first time in my life and I don't have discomfort. I can't remember the last time I woke up and just sat up and went about my day.
Bro, I'm about to get stem cell on my
Yeah.
shoulder.
Yeah,
No,
got
for
to,
real.
man. I recommend it to anybody who's been dealing with nagging injuries,
Yeah.
anything cumulative, anything like that that's been bothering them for a while, bro. If anything's hindering you, stem cells are the way to go. And Mexico is the place to get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about like, how is your mental health after a loss?
Man,
I think that's what people don't talk
Yeah,
about because
that's what I was
after
gonna
the
ask
win,
too.
you gotta
Yeah,
feel
how
like
do you handle
Superman.
feeling defeated?
it's the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows, man. But you know what you signed up for,
Mhm.
But what people don't realize is like MMA, it's like we got the worst fans in the world, bro.
Yeah.
You lose one time and they swear you'll go get knocked out by somebody at QD.
Yeah.
Like just anybody could go out there and just turn your lights out, bro. It's crazy. So it's like, I don't know, man.
That's funny.
That's so true.
Yeah,
That's like all
yeah.
fans in all sports. I
Yeah.
feel like because like it could be LeBron James, one of the goats of all time, and he has
Yeah.
an off night, and they're like, "Dude, he's trash. He's
Yeah.
terrible. He's washed up. Get rid of him."
He's
It's
falling
like,
off. Yeah.
Jesus, put him at a local YMCA and watch him score 150
Yeah.
points in a game.
They don't understand. People don't realize what it takes to get to these levels. Like making it to the UFC, there's so many people that think they're just gonna do it, and no one does.
Yeah.
The weakest link in the UFC has put in like stuff that like put in the kind of work that's like unimaginable to a regular person.
Yeah.
Regular people are conditioned to think regular ways, but what they love is normalcy. What they love is normal people because it makes them feel better. It makes them feel normal. So when you lose, it's expected that they're going to scream those failures at the
Mhm.
top of their lungs, people might celebrate for a day or two when you do something good, but when you do something bad, they'll remember that forever because that's what makes them feel closer to you. That's what makes them feel normal. Like their life isn't that bad,
Yeah.
when in reality, they should find motivation from it.
Yeah.
When I see someone do good, I find motivation in it. If I see someone lose, still I find motivation in it. I'm trying to I just it pushes me to want to be better. I learn from people's failures. I learn from people's victories. I learn from all of that. And the difference between what I do and what a regular person does, it's not like I don't have wins and losses. It's
Mhm.
not like I'm saying I'm better than anybody. I'm just saying what I do is out there for the world to see.
Yeah.
And
And for the world to judge.
yeah.
Yeah.
Most
Other
people, that
take
isn't the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other people's losses be at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
Ooh.
you just never hear about it.
Yeah.
No one's sitting there like on Instagram commenting
Yeah.
or sending DMs talking about you owe them money because they
Yeah.
lost money on you.
Yeah.
Or
that's
even
crazy.
worse, like after my last fight, like my girl's getting crazy DMs from random ass people that I've never even heard of. I'm like, dude, I don't even know you. I like the type of hate you got for me is like
Yeah.
just unfathomable to me.
Yeah.
I could never relate, but it is what it is. I love the game. I don't necessarily love every part it comes with, but it's what I signed up for. So when you lose, it is what it is.
So it's almost like you have to train your body to be in the fight, but then you have to train your mind for what happens after the fight. Then.
Oh,
Absolutely, man. You grow some real thick skin in this sport,
Yeah.
man. But the biggest thing is I'm not worried about what other people have to say
Yeah.
necessarily. I never really paid it too much mind.
Mhm.
Even though I am the kind of guy, like, for a guy who cares about what people think about me, I picked the worst job possible.
Yeah,
Like, I
for
couldn't
sure.
have picked the worst job.
Yeah.
But what I know is I know what's true to me. I know when I turn the phone off and I go home, I know who's really there for me.
Mhm.
And that's a big blessing, you know? The one part that does suck, the like, to answer your question, is when you lose, it's not like basketball or football where you can count on a week that, like, the following week to make up for it, you know? You put on a good performance, a week later, everybody forgets all about it. That's not the case with MMA. Those fights are spaced out 2, 3, 4 months, sometimes even longer if you're injured.
mhm.
So for me, I got to sit with that feeling until the next time I'm in there. And imagine after this last one with the injury, it's been 2 months now, and I've just been focused on physical therapy. And to me, a win is just getting up and recovering a little more than I did the day
Yeah.
before, you know, like having a little more motion in my neck, having a little bit less pain. And that's my win every day until the next time I get in the cage and can actually right my wrong and can actually prove that I'm better than what people perceive, or
Mhm.
prove to myself that I can make it through something like that, you know?
What do you think are some like physical training things that help with the mental side when it comes to like training for fighting? Because I see you do like the ice bath,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of discipline and mental strength stuff happening.
Yeah. So a big thing for me that changed over the last few years, and shout out to my boy Justin Johnson who put me on running, man. Running, the
Yeah.
road work. The road work is everything, man, because it's the war within, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
There's no telling how long you could really go if you let yourself just keep going. So I throw the towel over the display. I don't need to see how far I'm going. I don't need to see how fast I'm going. I just need to know that I'm taking one step further and one step further and one step further. And to me, that's the biggest thing, you know. That's the mental cleanse that I need every day. And I love it, man. Like, I used to hate running. I probably ran probably like 20 miles my whole career of wrestling, my whole life.
Mhm.
And then I got into fighting, and I met JJ, and he got me into running every day. And now it's like a drug. Like, I have to run because it makes me feel good. I'm alone with my thoughts. Nobody bothers me. Nobody's messing with me. I'm just in my head, just going through stuff, figuring things out. It's the best.
What would you recommend for us? Let's say me and Martin tomorrow take on it. You gonna go for a run?
Yeah, I'll go for a run.
You go for okay.
Yeah.
What would you
Yeah.
recommend like to start out? I probably ain't ran in a long ass time.
Man, it's not even, that's the thing. People put limits on themselves before they even start. If I tell you go run 5 miles,
Yeah.
right? You run a mile, you're going to feel like a failure.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I told you run a mile and you run that mile? You're going to
Yeah.
feel accomplished.
Yeah.
I don't put a limit in my head, you know? I'm like, when I go run,
So it's
I
like,
just want to go get a sweat. Just go
Yeah.
get a sweat.
yeah.
And I promise you, once you get out there and the sweat starts rolling and the breaths pick up, you'll get to a point where it no longer becomes a battle. It becomes sustainable. It becomes something that you work through.
Mm-hmm.
And I work through these things now while I'm going through stuff in my head. Like, I'm going through like real life, everyday issues in my head. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, like I just took this L with this car. How am I gonna bounce back from this? Or
Yeah.
damn, I got this random ass bill popping up. How am I gonna do this? Or I got all this shit on my schedule for tomorrow. How am I gonna juggle it all? You know, I'm going through that while I'm also dealing with the fact that I'm tired as hell, or that it's cold as hell. But it's just, it just becomes something that makes it easier for you to work towards. And it just gives you real good mental clarity because there's no distractions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like to listen to music, listen to
Yeah.
books, or what do you do when you run?
Yeah, I like to listen to music, man. Music is a lot. Like, it's really everything to me, man. Because like everything I do revolves around music. When I'm training,
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to music. When I'm cutting hair, I'm listening to music. When I'm drawing, doing my art, I'm listening to music. Driving, listening
Yeah.
to music.
Let's talk music. What's your taste? What do you like?
See, that's the good thing about being bilingual, bro. It's real hard to get bored of music. I listen to every style in both languages. I listen to everything of everything. So in English music, obviously I like Detroit music. I love Detroit rap. Like, it might have even won me over Chicago rap. But
Okay.
I mean, honestly, like there hasn't been a lot of Chicago music lately to begin with. Cause like when I was in high school, it was all about the Chief Keef. You know what I'm
the
saying?
drill
Like
scene,
that
yeah.
whole drill movement was badass,
And
bro.
you
And I
from
loved
Chicago.
it. And I'm from there. I was like
Yeah.
living it, you know, I was
Yeah.
feeling all of that, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But after that, it kind of just died down. And then that's by
Mhm.
that time is when I moved to Michigan. And I got put on to everybody out here, and you know, I've heard all the music out here, the Flint music, everything like that, and I've loved it. But I really like the New York scene. I really like Joey Badass. He's one of my favorites of all time. You know, the Griselda guys. I like Benny the Butcher, stuff like that.
Okay.
I don't know. West Side Gun. West Side Gun is up there for me. He doesn't really get too much recognition, but
Yeah.
he's a dog. And but the thing about me is, like I said, I listen to everything. So I listen to some country, I listen to some rock, I listen to everything, bro. And then in Spanish music, even more so. But
Yeah.
my family's from like the country in Mexico, like the middle of nowhere.
Mhm.
So I listen to like old school country Mexican music, like Tigrillo Palma, Los Originales, stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I know what you're
That's
talking
what
about.
I'm. That's what I'm all about. Somebody out there might.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
What's your favorite type of music to listen to?
I was just trying to think about that the other day. I really like I don't know.
Does it depend on what you're doing? So like,
Oh yeah,
when you're cutting hair, what's your go-to music?
that's when I'm listening to the most New York stuff.
Yeah.
I love that type of stuff for that time.
Yeah.
It's a good vibe for that, you know.
Yeah.
But I also listen to like Juice World when I'm cutting hair.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm vibing to like a little bit different stuff. Like, oh, actually, I changed my mind. There is one Chicago rapper that is changing shit up for me that I really, really like. He's a totally different vibe, obviously, than the drill scene, but he's dope. Lucky.
Lucky. Who
Okay.
knows Lucky?
If you don't know
Nah,
Lucky,
I gotta
come
catch
on,
up on him. I
man.
gotta catch
Oh,
up.
Lucky,
man.
Lucky's next up out of Chicago, man. He's industry now. He got
Yeah.
future features. He got everything.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's out there getting real features, and he's been linking up with V's actually, and a lot of the guys from out here in Detroit too.
Okay.
So he got some good music, man.
That's
I
what's up.
recommend
I'm gonna
him
have
to
to check him
whoever.
out,
Yeah,
man.
check him
Yeah.
out, bro. He's good.
I think a lot of people think I'm weird. I like to, especially when I work out, I'll be listening to like R&B music.
Yeah.
I like slow jams and shit
Yeah,
like
when
that.
you're
Psycho,
working
man.
out.
Yeah, bro. Cause I don't know. I have this feeling like I'm this type of person where I can get so focused sometimes. Like sometimes inside of myself, I feel crazy. Like I feel like sometimes I could be like a monster inside myself.
Yeah.
So when I work out, I just try to keep myself calm and like focused on the workout. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
I
cause
feel
I feel
that.
like if I start to get, sometimes I'll get anxiety or I'll get over hyped up where it's like, I damn near can't think about working out no more. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I like R&B music. I like Miguel, stuff like that.
I feel it. I feel it.
What
I can
goes-
totally see you liking that too, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
me.
Next time I see you at the gym when you're
Bro, when I- when-
you're
remember-
listening to "Let Me Lick Your Pussy."
No, you remember the last time? Remember I told you when I first met you or when I first seen you in the gym? I was
Yeah.
listening to Miguel. I
Okay.
was like, how many drinks is it? You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
listening to some like Lil Jon
Yeah.
fucking stomp
I
someone's
just feel like
head on
my
the
mind
curb.
is like that naturally. So like I don't like
Naturally, well, what goes when you're getting groceries? You're thinking about like, if this person looks at me, I'm gonna.
Swing on
Yeah.
him? Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's how I grew up. It's like I feel like how that's why I said as a man now I'm definitely dealing with my emotions and definitely learning how to turn that off. But you grow up around people, especially other people who haven't dealt with their emotions, where it's like you have to be masculine and tough all the time. And so now it's just like, growing up, it's like, let me turn that down a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's me.
That's a big thing for people, man. Like the
Yeah.
emotional literacy is a big part of growing up, you know?
sure.
But eventually everybody comes to a point where they figure that out, and it's
Yeah.
different life experiences for everybody.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're a product of your environment.
Mhm.
Like whatever forges you, it's real hard to shake. But
Yeah.
people learn over time, you know? So I
Yeah.
feel you.
Yeah.
People probably think that that's what I am all day, every day.
Yeah.
But like the fighting really got me to just chill out
That's
with
what
all
I'm
that, bro.
saying.
I don't got nothing to prove to
I
nobody.
even think about the comments. Like, think about all the people that are commenting. Like you said, they're like, "Oh, I can knock you out" or some shit. Like, and then
Yeah.
you're probably like, "Bro, like, if you really knew who I was, I'm really a good guy." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or like, they have shit that they haven't dealt with.
What do you think?
Exactly.
You said, man.
Literally, when people talk crazy to me,
Yeah.
bro, I'm just I'm so
Yeah.
I don't even pay it any mind,
Yeah,
bro. It's
bro.
just I can't say I laugh at it because then I would find humor in it. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't really find humor in it. I'm just like something wrong with him. Like I
Yeah.
just don't pay it any mind whatsoever.
I
Yeah.
think it's because you have so much proof that
Yeah.
they're wrong. It'd be like if someone was like, "Your hoodie's not green.
Mhm.
My hoodie right now."
Yeah.
haha.
Yeah.
I know for a fact it's
Yeah.
green. So
Yeah.
with you, if it's like, oh, I beat your ass, and you have no idea what I can do to you,
Yeah.
smile. Yep.
That's the
Mhm.
thing,
Whatever
bro.
floats your
That
boat.
shit goes so deep for me. It's like, to me, what really goes through my head, like I was trying to just keep it real simple for y'all, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
kick it to you how it really
Yeah,
goes
give
in my
it
Let's
to
head.
get
us,
deep, man.
Yeah.
Let's get in the ocean, water,
look,
sharks,
Yeah.
shark talk.
When it comes to being in the cage, like people always talk to me like, "Oh, I'm about to have my first fight," you know, and I love hearing stuff like that
Mhm.
because people always want to hear something from you, you know, especially being in the position that I'm in now, that I'm very blessed to have. I use that to my advantage. I'll tell people like, "Oh, I'll give them real advice," because I would have loved to get that kind of
Yeah.
advice, you know.
Yeah.
And I am where I am because people put me on, you know, people that are in that zone or at that level put me on, like Cody Stamen, Jamal Hill, you know, people that are making real noise were the ones that helped me out. So I try to be that for somebody else. And but yeah, back to that. People would be like, "Oh, you know, I have my first fight coming up, this and that," and I'll be like, "Talk to me after. Go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Talk to me after," because that's a real thing. You don't know what you're gonna do until you get out there.
Yeah.
Like you could say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna just dump the clip first minute." All right, let's see it, bro. Cause you're gonna get out there and you're gonna do a whole bunch of nothing. And I
Yeah.
promise you that because I've been there and I've lived it and I know. Like some people rise to the occasion, some people don't. But you
Mhm.
don't know until you get out there. And luckily, I was one of the guys that rose to the occasion.
You guys
And
say, how did your first fight go?
oh, dude, my first fight ever, bro. Boy, come on now.
Went crazy.
Yeah, I went nuts. And no one people around me knew, but no one else knew anything about me. And it wasn't real easy for me because in my mind, I didn't really pay it no mind. But my coach, like, remember how I told you we were ranked number 1 at every weight except for mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the only amateur in our gym at the time. There had never been a newbie that showed up to that gym. That gym was invite only, professionals only. And it was old school as fuck. You go there, and if they don't know you, they're going to check you. And they're going to check you bad, like injure you bad.
Mhm.
And if you come back, you got their respect. If you don't, cool, it wasn't meant to be. And they beat the shit out of me bad. But I was fast forward to my first fight, I was the first amateur at that gym and everybody knew it. And my coach was talking crazy about how, oh, this is the next guy. This is my next guy. This guy, he's the real deal. He's next up. So, I mean, I had some big shoes to fill, but
Yeah.
luckily I made it happen and I
Yeah,
proved
for
them right,
sure.
you know?
Yeah.
What was your thoughts like? How did your thoughts in your head change from like the very first fight, your first time ever getting in the cage?
Yeah.
What were you thinking? And then like the most recent fight that you did, what were the thoughts going through your head? Like what was the difference here?
I think the first fight, which is something I try to never stray away from because it's such a deep part of me, I was so grateful that it was finally there. Because I tried to find a fight for like 6 months and everybody kept saying no because, again, it was a tall ask for people because my coach was talking crazy.
Mhm.
So, like, people were like, dude, we got to find out about this kid. Like,
Yeah.
but everybody kept saying no. Everyone kept saying no. And the hardest part was getting the first one. Because after you win the first one, people are like, huh, I think I could beat him. All right, cool. But everyone was scared of the thought before the first one. No one wanted to be the one to find out. And I was super grateful that I finally got a fight. And I went out there and I'll pull up pictures to show you guys. In my first fight ever, I'm elbowing this dude in the face, smile on my face. Like I could not stop smiling, even in the cage. It was crazy. And it was nothing like I expected, but I still did what I said I was gonna do.
Mhm.
And then in my most recent fight, same thing, just full of gratitude, bro. Like I'm like, man, you know, this whole thing is just a journey. Like I compete because I love it. I don't have to do this.
Yeah.
I would have made way more money just sticking to being a barber and like focusing on my businesses and stuff like that. But I fight because I want to fight because I love competition. So I'm just grateful. But sometimes I am a victim of like swaying away from that, getting too lost in the noise, you know?
Is there anything else besides fighting that you were? I know you said being a barber as well,
Yeah.
but just thinking like past fighting, maybe even when you get older, is there anything that you kind of have set up in the back of your mind for that?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, the end game for me has always been much more than be a fighter, you know? This is
Yeah.
just a part of my story and I love it. Fighting isn't a job, it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this forever and I know that cuz I'm as good as one more injury, you know? What if like in my last fight when I got my MRI, they told me like you could really run the risk of something serious happening, like you could be paralyzed.
Yeah.
And I mean, that opened my eyes a lot, you know?
Mhm.
But I think later on down the road, obviously I want to start up a barber shop. I want to do whatever I can to, preserve like urban culture, street culture. So I don't want to put too much out there because I got
Yeah.
this crazy
Got a
business plan.
Yeah.
But I got a crazy idea for a concept that I've never seen, and I want to be the first one to do it. So I ain't gonna give none of these little
Yeah.
weasels no ideas.
Yeah.
But trust me, it's gonna be popping, bro. It's gonna be
For
something
sure.
sweet.
My next question too is just being a barber. I know some barbers that get like carpal tunnel
Yeah.
with the wrist. Do you experience any of that? And then especially with fighting, does that kind of like hurt you a little bit?
Dude, I don't know, man. But I'm the type of guy, like if you ask anybody, I'm all about recovery.
Yeah.
Recovery is everything to me.
So
you
you always
only
take
get
care of
one
yourself.
body. You
Yeah.
only get one. And even barbers who don't compete in fighting
Mhm.
or don't compete in anything at all for that matter, I try to really motivate them to take care of themselves because, bro, you only get one body. Like
Yeah.
for the rest of your life, you're only gonna get one. Like why would you want a shitty like a shitty body? Why would you want a shitty way to move yourself?
Mhm.
Like you get one vessel. Take care of it.
Yeah.
It's like if you have to live in one house forever or drive
Yeah.
one car forever. You're gonna put the best gas in it, the best oil in it,
Mhm.
detail it every week. And that's how I am about everything. That's how I am about my appearance. That's how I am about recovery. That's how I
Mhm.
am about my body, my motion, my mind, everything. And like even my output, what I'm putting out there to other people, I try to be really mindful of that. And that I feel like that's my biggest part of me is that.
Give us some free game. What are different ways that you recover? Take care of your body.
Man, it starts off simple. Like when your mind is off, your body should be on. So I tell people, like, if you're watching TV, you're already just sitting there, sit on the ground, get a little stretching going, just grab your toes, just move over side to side a little bit.
Mhm.
It increases your blood flow. It helps you. And actually, if you're into lifting, if you're a bodybuilder, stretching helps you build more muscle, it stretches those fibers out and it makes it easier for you to be able to grow. So to me, that's a big thing. Stretching.
Stretching.
Another
okay.
thing, wake
Copy
up in the
that.
morning, drink some water, have some lemon, have
Mhm.
some honey, get your glucose levels up. Just that and nutrition, like stretching and nutrition are the two biggest aspects. But also, my most important has to be sleep. If people knew how important sleep is to you, everybody would be sleeping their full 8 hours. But I mean, don't get me wrong, not everybody is the same. So not everybody needs 8 hours. I know people that are fully functioning, fully recovered off of 6 hours. Me personally, I'm like a 7 hours type of dude.
What's
And
your go-to bedtime?
midnight.
Midnight.
I'm too busy to go to
Yeah.
sleep before midnight. I just can't do it. But I
Yeah.
naturally wake up at like 8 o'clock. Naturally.
Okay. So that'd be
So
8.
yeah. So like I'll go to sleep like 12, 12:30, latest 1, and I'm up by 8.
Okay.
And I'm getting to it. But to me, that's just how I do. That's how I function, and it feels good to me. Everything's about routine, bro. So like, if you can just figure out a way to maximize your amount of time that you're recovering while still doing your regular everyday things, you're good. Like that's my biggest thing. The first thing I tell everybody while you're watching TV, stretch. It's the biggest one. Obviously, the ice baths are big. But that's like, I don't got to preach to nobody about no ice baths, man. Like, everybody hears
Mhm.
it all over the place right now. It's like in style right now.
Yeah.
If you don't know about ice baths, I don't know what to tell you. Drink your water. Drink your water, drink your water, drink your water. That's it. Yeah, like, have good water intake is going to do a lot for recovery, too.
What's some good, your go-to high protein, healthy type snacks?
For me, man, I love protein in general, bro. Like, I eat I eat everything. Like, I eat all day. And I eat a lot of like I told you, my family's old school Mexican, so it's always heavy with the chicken,
Mhm.
heavy with the steak, and heavy with the rice. Just stay like protein and carbs, baby. Let's go. And that's my thing. That's all I like to eat. I keep everything super simple, but I eat really clean naturally. That's just what I like. Like in my cheat meal, if I had a cheat meal right now that was for free, I could go anywhere. I'm going to a steakhouse. I'm getting the biggest steak they got and a big ass baked potato. That's my shit, bro. And to me, like, I don't have a need to eat shitty food. I don't like it. It doesn't feel good.
Mhm.
It doesn't taste good to me. But my bad habit, my kryptonite has to be the sweet tooth. I can't help it, man. The sugar.
Like candy or,
No.
desserts or
Like
what?
I need cookies.
Cookies?
Donuts. My big thing is coffee. Coffee's obviously good for you, but not when you put a whole bunch of bullshit in it.
Yeah.
I don't put bad shit in it. Like instead of a regular creamer, I put agave nectar in it. Agave is better. Obviously, it's better than sugar. It's better than caramel. It's better than other stuff you could be putting in it.
Mhm.
So I put oat milk and agave. And with that, it tastes great. It's sweet as fuck, and it's your, it gets your glucose levels up, but it also doesn't hurt you. That's not a bad sugar to have in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's a big thing. But yeah, definitely fall victim of the sweet tooth way too much.
What about caffeine? How much caffeine do you drink in a day? I guess.
I don't know. I wouldn't say a lot. I drink a lot of water, I think. Yeah. I drink a lot. I would say I have way more sugar than caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah, sugar a lot. I drink a lot of
I
juices.
feel you, bro.
You drink
Yeah.
caffeine every day though? I do.
I don't think so.
What about you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
need
do.
that.
Yeah, I
Dude,
don't.
coffee, that's my gasoline, bro.
Yeah, but
Need
my
that.
biggest thing is like for me, I damn near like I come from a lot of family of like addicts and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
like I damn near feel like coffee is sometimes a drug. I'll be looking at
Ah,
coffee
it
like,
is.
nah,
I
let
feel
me
you.
chill for a day. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I
Bro.
never want to be that person that needs something to function.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
feel you. I feel that for
Yeah,
sure. Because
yeah.
that's how I am about taking any type of like pain meds. And being an MMA
Same
fighter
way,
and not
yeah.
taking pain meds is crazy.
So
It's
you don't
crazy.
take pain meds?
No, I try not to.
Yeah, me
I
either.
take
That's crazy.
I take stuff. Don't get it twisted. I definitely take some like Motrin from time to
Yeah.
time for like anti-inflammatory. Like for example, I just took some because I just tweaked my knee this morning
Yeah. Oh,
and I didn't
wow.
want it to swell up. But Motrin is like quick and easy.
Yeah.
It gets it off. But at the same time, I try not to because it's a slippery slope, bro. And I've
Mhm.
been there before. Like I ain't trying to get too deep on that, but I have dealt with my fair share of issues when it comes to something like that.
Yeah.
So let's just say, man, pills not for me. Like I
Yeah,
try
for
to stay
sure.
away from
Yeah.
them. I feel weird, even if it's a doctor recommended something. I feel weird. I try not to.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
How do you feel about smoking weed?
Me personally, I have nothing wrong with it. I'm like I used to smoke all day, every day, bro.
When you were
All the time.
training or before training or
Right.
when?
Before I try to stay. The thing is, when it comes to fighting, I fight raw, 100% in my mind. I'm naked.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's as true and as real and as vulnerable as you can be. So I try to be that when I'm training to mimic what I'm gonna feel in a fight.
Yeah.
So I try to make sure that being sober is my normal, and I don't want being sober to be foreign to me when I get in the cage. And there had been times where that was the case, where I was smoking so much that like all of a sudden it's the week of the fight, and I'm like being sober. I'm like, oh, this is fucking weird. Why does this
Yeah.
hurt so much? Why am I not sleeping the same? So I try to make sure that was never the case. So I mean, to each their own, but to me, that's always been a big thing. Is like I want being sober to be my normal when I'm
Mhm.
leading into a fight. Granted, there's great recovery properties when it comes to smoking weed. There's great mental health properties for
Yeah.
people when it comes
Yeah.
to smoking weed. And I definitely fell off of it a lot from where I used to be. Like now it's like once in a blue moon. But I'm a grown ass man. If I want to, whatever, I'll do it. If I
Yeah.
don't, whatever, I won't. But
Well, I feel something different. Like when I get high, you seen it, I be stretching. It's like this how you go to I don't know what the word is, but you can always tell if I'm high if
Yeah.
you start seeing me stretching and shit.
yeah,
It's like I just feel it so like I can feel the fibers
Yeah.
and everything and
Yeah.
I don't
Some
know.
people.
dude, on the real, like smoking makes you one with your vessel. It makes
Yeah.
you one with your
Yeah.
body, and you feel it on a different level. Like if I walk up to you and punch you when you're high, bro, it's gonna affect you way more than if you were sober.
What's the difference? What would you say? Like punch me and I'm sober.
I don't
One
know.
way,
You notice
punch me
it.
high.
You notice it. You're like, ow. If I punch you
Oh.
regular, you just be mad.
Yeah,
If I
yeah.
punch you when you're high, you're like, ow.
Damn near
Okay.
like you can feel
Ow.
everything a little
Yeah,
bit more.
like you just think about it,
Yeah.
And like that's how it was for me. Like I was
Yeah.
like I ain't gonna go smoke and then go to practice
Train,
and get
fuck
punched in the
that.
face.
When you
I'm
were a wrestler,
good.
were you smoking?
Nah, not
Man,
for
the
real.
wrestlers be smoking, man.
Yeah, they do
They
now.
do.
But like when I was in high school, it was
Yeah.
still a little more frowned upon than it is
Yeah.
now. That's
Yeah.
like, and y'all from Michigan, bro. Chicago to this day
Oh, yeah.
barely just got
For
legal,
sure.
barely,
Yeah.
and it's totally different over there.
Mhm.
So I think I probably went to practice high like in wrestling, like twice in my life.
Okay. Tell me
Yeah.
about the importance of having a good team around you while you're fighting and everything like that. Because I mean, like you said, you came here, no friends, no family, stuff
Yeah.
like that, and you had to build that. So like, tell me a little bit about that.
Man, for real, like having a good team around you is everything in this game, bro. Nobody loves you.
Mhm.
Everybody love you when you're winning.
Yeah.
But when you lose, that's when you see what's really up,
Yeah.
And even though fighting is an individual sport, you're in the cage by yourself and stuff. It's as team aspect as you can get.
Mhm.
Like the sacrifices that I make for my teammates and the sacrifices that they make for me that's something I owe them for the rest of my life. And I'm
Mhm.
talking about way past fighting, way past when this is done, forever indebted to my boys for that. Because like, for example, me, I tore my ulnar in my elbow,
Mhm.
and that's a pretty big deal. It's like tearing your ACL in your knee, but for your elbow.
Okay.
And I started doing PT, started recovering, and my boy gets a fight against a wrestler that just so happens to be built just like me, happens to fight just like me, same techniques as me. And I'm 3 weeks fresh into this injury, like 3, 4 weeks into it. And I'm like, I can't let him go out there and just go out there and lose a fight that he should win because
Yeah.
he should be prepared. So I come back early. I just slap a brace on it. My coach told me, he's like, hey, bro, I really, we need you.
Yeah.
And so I just slap a brace on it and get right back in there. And I do whatever I can for him. Granted, to this day, it never recovered fully. It
Mhm.
never got back to 100%.
Mhm.
But that was the price that I was willing to pay for my teammate.
Yeah.
Because this shit really is life or death, bro. You never know. You never know what could happen.
Yeah.
So I want to have that comfort, like peace of mind, that I made sure that all my boys went out there 100% prepared, no stone unturned, ready to go.
Mhm.
Especially now that my little brother fights. That's the craziest feeling.
Yeah.
That's the crazy. Like, I already go crazy for my teammates' fights compared to mine, especially because, like, I don't care about my fights. Like, I'm out there.
Yeah.
I'm in control. It's
You're
me.
gonna do what you do.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do me. But when it comes to them, like, I lose it, bro. I can't. Sometimes I for real feel like I'm gonna faint or like I'm gonna
Mhm.
have a heart attack or something. It's crazy. And then when my brother went out there, that was a whole other level. Like, granted, I have to keep a good head on my shoulders
Yeah.
because I'm his number one coach or corner. And I gotta be there. I gotta be active. I gotta be paying attention because I gotta tell him in between rounds what we need to do.
Mhm.
So that's crazy. That's crazy.
And what's your brother's name?
Miguel Gutierrez, the
Okay,
misfit.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
How much
crazy,
older
man.
are you than him?
He's 20. I'm 26. I'm 6 years older than him.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy.
That's baby bro. The middle brother is really good at fighting too, man.
Yeah.
But he just never competed, Never got around to competing, but he loves it. And he's the best natural athlete out of the three of us. Like, just super
Wow,
technical,
that's crazy.
super smart, super technical.
You ever try to get him in there?
Oh, we tried a bunch of times, bro. But he's always been a sore loser. I just don't think he could live with himself losing if he ever
Yeah.
did. I don't think he would lose, but if he did,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I really don't see him losing, bro. He's that good. Like,
Mhm.
he's like, you'll catch him off the couch, hasn't trained in 2 weeks, hasn't done anything in 2 weeks. You bring him into the gym on a sparring day, and he'll give work to
Mhm.
everybody. Like, he'll really, like, he'll be 50-50 with whoever. To this day, me and my youngest brother, Miguel, will train with him, and he keeps it. He stays right in there
That's
until he gets
crazy.
tired.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. And then my youngest brother, Miguel, like, he's tough, man. He's good, and he's gonna be a real problem, man. And he has a good head on his shoulders, trains his ass off, does well, learns, humble. So I'm excited to see where he takes it, man.
Yeah, I think there's an importance there, by everything you said about like making sure you spread out good energy
Yeah.
in the world. Because I think it's crazy to think that like I didn't know I thought you were from here,
Yeah.
so I didn't know you came from Chicago and stuff. But I've come across, or even I have family members like Nate Trevino.
Yeah.
Yeah, you train. That's my cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just coming along, all these people that know you or that are friends with you or do something along with you, and it seems like everybody wants you to win.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool that you are that type of good person where you're spreading that good energy because it seems like it's coming right back to
Yeah.
you. So no matter what them comments are saying, everybody's still on your side wanting you to win. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it's all about, bro.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, like, I can go, like, I find peace and comfort in the fact that I made someone's day better or that I
Yeah.
impacted somebody in a
Yeah.
good way. And that's what helps me live my life. That's a
Yeah.
big mission for me. So, like, it doesn't come to a surprise when people return that. I don't
Yeah.
do it for anything in return,
Yeah.
but it doesn't come as a surprise to me
Yeah.
because, like, good people attract good people,
Mhm.
And I just
Yeah.
try to, like, lucky for me, I've just been blessed to find the right people around me,
Yeah.
and it's been real easy for me to just, reciprocate whatever I get from other
Yeah,
people,
for sure.
So it's been cool.
How's your girl's life different when you're training for a fight compared to when you're, I guess, off season or not training for a
Yeah.
fight?
Man, when I'm not training for a fight,
What's it like for her to be around
Yeah.
you both stages?
yeah. So she's a rider, man. I can't say enough good things about her,
Yeah.
man. My baby will say, man, I love her to death.
Well, here's your opportunity. She's listening.
For real,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
she is.
We're unclear
Go
for
ahead.
you.
Man,
Yeah.
the thing about her, man, is she's like the ultimate rider, bro. Every time
Yeah.
she has an opportunity to impress me, she does it. Like everything that I go through with her. As much as I hate it, I go through it with her. Like when I'm cutting weight for a fight, she'll cook all of my meals like exactly how they're written. No salt, no sodium, no sugar, no nothing. Like
Yeah.
clean as fuck.
Yeah.
And she'll eat it too. Like she'll eat it too. She'll obviously season her shit up, but like she'll eat the same thing I'm eating.
Yeah.
She'll go train with me. She'll go sit in the sauna with me. She'll recover with me. She'll go with me everywhere. And she just stays really diligent.
Yeah.
And on top of that, she's juggling being in PA school right now, which is like a really highly competitive program for University of Michigan. And she's kicking ass with that and focused on taking care of me, like leading up to a fight. So whenever I don't have a fight, I try to focus that much extra on
Back on her.
back on her, man.
Yeah.
Just being a good boyfriend,
Yeah.
being a good partner, like just being there for her, because
Yeah.
she's always there for me and she always tries for me. So I got to make sure I reciprocate that because Lord knows, like, I try my ass off, but I could always be better,
Yeah.
So I try to just reciprocate all that energy that she gives me, man. But she's a trooper for sure.
And how long have you guys been together?
2 years.
Okay. Have you
Yeah.
ever been with someone else that was the complete opposite?
Oh, every single one.
Really?
Every single one.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like,
look where they are now.
yeah, exactly.
Fuck outta here.
Exactly. And they're long
outta
gone.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, this is the hardest sport in the world.
Yeah.
It really is, man. And like everybody's against you. So if you can find somebody that's truly with you, and she, like, my girl don't get nothing out of this, man. Like she would rather it don't matter how good it feels to her to see me win.
Yeah.
I guarantee you she would rather not deal with it at all.
Yeah.
Like why not? Like
Yeah.
why would she want to? Why would she want to see me get punched in the face? Like I see it in her face. She's shitting her pants. But like she does it because she loves me and she knows I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, every other time, I outgrew the person. Every
Yeah.
other time they were like, oh, no joke. One time I had a girl tell me, and it wasn't even nothing serious. It was just a girl that I was talking to at the time. Luckily, it didn't go no further than that because she dead ass looked me in the face and said it. Like, and I'm no joke like this. I hate how your success makes me feel. Like I hate how I feel about myself seeing you do what you do.
That's crazy.
I was like, what? Oh,
Yeah. That's crazy.
peace.
Definitely know how that feels. I had
Yeah,
someone
that
say
was
that.
weird.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so weird. I'm like, how could you do that? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like I didn't know we were competing against each other.
So almost making sure you have somebody there that supports you as well as making sure they have enough motivation to do what they want to do in life too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I definitely had someone do the same thing in the sense of telling me like, oh, and that's great. You have all this good shit going on. And then in the moment you're like,
You should
What?
be happy.
yeah, well, like, are you not happy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I tell you, man.
yeah, it's different. It's a different feeling. How do you feel about understanding that, like, how do you feel about your injuries? Like, how do you feel like, do you ever feel like the next injury might be in a sense like, okay, this might be the time I maybe stop fighting, or this, like, how do you feel just about injuries in general?
I went into this with a plan.
Yeah.
I knew this wasn't forever. I knew what it was. I knew
Yeah.
that every time you step out there, it's a risk. So to me, I don't worry as much
Yeah.
about that because I know, like, work hard, control what you can
Yeah.
control. The rest gonna fall into place. God will always have me.
Yeah.
Every chance that God's had to show me He's there and He's with me and He's helping, He's done it. And I have full faith that things are gonna play out the way they're supposed to. Maybe I win a world title, maybe I don't.
Yeah.
But I can't lose sleep over that because that's not on me.
Yeah.
What's on me is go out there, put my best foot forward, perform to the best of my abilities. I can't control the result. Like, look at my last fight. I was winning 2 10-8 rounds in a row, so which means damn near a mercy rule. Like it was complete landslide. He couldn't do anything to me,
Yeah.
and then I injured myself, and it was all downhill from there.
Yeah, and
like you can't control that.
Yeah.
That's naturally happens.
Yep. And I just say that because I know you said your family's old school. So, like,
Yeah.
are there any promises you made to your family or even your girl where it's like, all right, if this type of injury happens, then I'm going to chill out?
That's crazy that you even say that because, yeah, bro, for sure. Like I said, my ultimate goal in life is way past fighting. Like
Yeah.
I want to be a young dad, running around with his
Yeah,
kids.
still functioning.
I want to take my kid. Like hopefully my kid wants to wrestle. Hopefully my
Yeah.
kid wants to learn the family
Mhm.
business. And I want to be the dad that wrestled with his kid because I would always see that growing up, and
Yeah.
I knew that I wanted to be that. I want to be the dad that wrestles around with this kid. I want to be the dad that takes his kids hiking, golfing, whatever, like anything, literally anything that involves like being physical. Like I want to be, I want to be able to form full sentences. I don't want to be punch drunk and brain
Yeah.
dead. So there's a whole life for me after this. So I have to go out when I'm on top. But the only thing I know is that I have to go out on my terms.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have an injury tell me I can't. I'm not gonna have another person tell me I
Yeah.
can't. I'm gonna leave when it's my time to
Yeah.
leave, when I know it's time to leave, and that's it. But I know that I want to set myself up to have one perfect run at a world title, and then we'll reevaluate after that. But I know that there's way more after this, and I want to make sure that I save myself for what's truly important
Yeah.
in this life.
That's a good answer.
You feel me?
What do you love about cutting hair?
I love the artistry of it. You know, I've just been doing it for so long. It's like it was my first love for real. Like it was something I was good at, and I just kept getting better and better and better. And I've been I'm obsessed with it now as I was when I first started. But on a real note, I think what I love the most about it has to be how big of a networking tool it is. Oh my God. Like everyone I know in my life that like brings something to the table, all my best friends, all my best clients are good friends of mine, but good colleagues, good just good people to have around. Like I have a person for everything because of barbering.
Mm-hmm.
I have a person for everything. And I mean, not everybody's as lucky as I am. I wouldn't even call it luck because there's a reason why. But nobody has the clientele that I have because nobody offers what I offer. I offer a top of the line haircut, but I'm also super punctual when it comes to being a barber. Like my biggest thing is customer service. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna know about you. We're gonna talk about your kids, your family, your job, what you do for a living, what you're passionate about. I'm gonna try to motivate you a little. But if I tell you 10:30, you're gonna be there at 10:30 because you're a man that's in a position of power. But you're gonna sit down in the chair at 10:30. You're gonna leave at 11:15 like you planned on. Like you know, when it comes to people that like high status people, they're trying to be in and out. They ain't trying to waste time. Time is money. And I'm the same way. Time is money, bro. So like you better respect my time, and I promise you, I will respect yours. If you tell me 10:30, let's do 10:30, and you'll be out of the door by 11:15, guaranteed, no questions asked. And that's why every single client I have brings something to the table. Like all of my clients are business owners. I got like deans at MSU. I got like police officers. I got anything you could think of. I know somebody for everything.
Yeah.
You know, if you guys want to buy a car, hit up my guy Joe. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go get your car detailed, hit up bro. You know, I just got something for everything, and it's the best network to have. It's the best network to have. So I love it.
Podcasting is similar. That's my goal with it, is like having a podcast is building your personal brand.
Yeah.
And by having a podcast that's not inside of a niche, like an MMA podcast or a hip hop podcast or a whatever, a health and fitness podcast, it's like, no, Joe Rogan is connected and plugged in with like all of the biggest people, you know, and it was just, he was naturally interested in like, I think Elon Musk is cool. I'd love to talk to him. Boom, talks to him.
Yeah.
I think Matthew McConaughey is a great actor. I'd love to meet him. Talks to him. Kevin Hart, like fighters, everything. So yeah, having a podcast is also similar to like how you're saying barber. Barber is intimate also because you're cutting their hair for, you know, let's say about an hour or so. And then most people, if they get their haircut every week or twice a week, like you're building that relationship with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I came back from Mexico, I had like 10 separate orders from my clients. Like, hey, bring me back this, bring me back a bottle, bring me back whatever. Like, and like, those are my people. Like, of course I'm gonna do it, you know? But you said it, when it, like podcasting, you said talk to people.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like there's no niche here. Like this is probably the first podcast I've ever done I don't talk about MMA the whole time. You know? Like I'm trying to talk about being a good person, bro. I'm trying to talk about being on your grind. Try to motivate some people to go do something, you know? Hopefully somebody starts stretching after this shit. You know what I'm saying? So
we was talking about it. I was like, yeah, man, I do need to stretch more.
For real, bro. Like why you get one body, take care of it. That's all it is. So if you're gonna get anything from today, get that.
Stretch.
You get one body, stretch, take care of yourself, drink water.
Do you listen to any audiobooks at all? Or do you read?
I like reading. I
Okay.
like reading, bro.
What's one of your most? What's one,
If
one
you
of your
were to
most? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
If you were to recommend one book to anyone out there,
Go ahead.
what's your one book that you recommend?
Recommend one
Yeah.
book. I like the Tim Grover books right now, bro. I
Okay.
think I've been on this like I don't even know what to call it. I'd be like might as well call it a tour. I've been on a tour of just sports psychologist books.
Okay.
And Tim Grover is the GOAT when it comes to sports psychology because Michael Jordan, Dwayne Wade, Kobe, you know what I'm saying? Derek Jeter. Like
Mhm.
he worked with all of them. Like
Mhm.
he knows his shit. So reading his books, like it's really eye opening, you know, because it's not what you think it is. Like you think you're gonna read a book about that and they're gonna be like, you gotta focus on the task at hand or
This is
something.
what you do.
No.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
It's real shit, and they give you tangible tools that you're gonna actually put out there and use. You know, like I owe it to those books to bring myself to the moment. Like those books are the reason why I'm able to put myself in the right place and time when I compete. You know, and I think the main one that I could recommend is called Winning. Winning by Tim Grover, probably
Winning,
the best
okay.
book I've ever read.
Have to check
That'd
that
have
one
to
out.
be. It's a good book, man.
If you
Check
were to
that one out.
summarize the book, how is it?
I think it just gives you a lot of realistic tools and it gives you a good perspective on what your mindset should be to be successful in any aspect of life. Because this dude didn't just work with athletes; he worked with business people. He worked people on Wall Street. He works
Uh-huh.
with just a lot of high status people. You know, high output people is what he called them. And Lord knows some of those people be putting some serious output out, man. Some people out there, their game is money. That's their thing, you know? They don't play with the ball, they play with money. And he made sure that like he put them in a position to win as big as they possibly could. And I loved reading that book because it gave me real tools that I could actually put out there myself and use, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think that to summarize the book, it just puts winning in perspective for you. Winning isn't like it's not a destination. You don't like it's an everyday thing. And you have to
mindset.
know how to chase it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he knows how to do it.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
What's your favorite book?
I think we talked about this. It's Think and Grow Rich.
Oh yeah, Napoleon
Okay,
Hill.
yeah.
Napoleon Hill.
Yup.
And Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill too.
Ooh. I
That's a good
actually
one.
read that Think and Grow Rich in Spanish.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they got it. They had it at a little coffee shop in Mexico.
That's crazy.
So I like people always tell me that I'm like for being bilingual.
Yeah.
Typically, you know, there's a lot of people that are born like first generation Americans.
Yeah.
That speak broken Spanish or like kind of broken Spanish or Spanglish even.
Yeah.
But me, like I'm clear and concise in both.
Yeah.
Because I put my time in with the Spanish. I kept making sure like if I'm gonna tap into that market, I need to know it in every aspect. Like
Mhm.
I remember I told you I'm from the country in Mexico.
Yeah.
I spoke country Spanish. Imagine like a country dude sitting here right now, like a dude from like Mississippi sitting
Yeah.
in here right now. And I'm not talking about just regular Mississippi. I'm talking about mud boots this
Yeah.
high, overalls.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we'd be sitting here if I was speaking in Spanish. But then I started training with people in the city in Mexico and I'm like, wow, I'm dumb as hell.
Yeah.
So I started like practicing and learning and expanding my vocabulary and now I got both.
How
That's
did you
what's
do that?
Just reading,
Reading
speaking.
in Spanish?
Yeah,
like,
reading in Spanish, speaking in Spanish, watching more Spanish shows. But I mean, English was my second language. I was raised in Spanish, so I
okay.
think in Spanish, and it's really easy for me to do that. You know, it was really easy for me to just build upon what I already had because I had a good vocabulary and I know how to speak well, but I wanted to speak educated. I wanted to speak clear and concise. I wanted to speak and get through to everybody, you know, not just people from where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is the most famous person's haircut you've ever done?
Obviously Connor, bro. Cutting Connor's hair was dope, you know? He's a good dude. Crazy as hell.
Connor who for the people at home?
Conor McGregor.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I've heard of
that's
him.
fire.
You
Yeah,
heard of
so-
him?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
so
he's
I was on the Ultimate Fighter and I was
Yeah.
on Connor's team. So from day one, I told him like, "Hey, bro, if you need a cut, let me know." Because I mean, we're all isolated in this
Yeah,
house. Like I don't
yeah.
got nothing else to do. Might as well. So I started cutting his hair, and it was cool.
That's
Now,
good dude.
was he in the house too, or
No,
how does that work?
He would pop up in the house from time to time, but we would meet up twice a day for training every single day
With him?
with him.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and he was our coach. He would put us through everything, but he would be in the trenches with us. I sparred Connor. I have like pictures and videos of me literally throwing hands with Connor. It's pretty cool. I actually got a really cool picture, an even cooler picture.
That's
that I'm
crazy.
gonna
Is
show
there
you guys after
anything
this.
mindset wise he gave you advice, anything like that
Oh, a
that
ton,
you
bro.
can take from that?
Absolutely. He taught me a ton, man. He told me one thing in particular that's like the most Connor thing ever. And I don't think I've ever told anybody this, but I have it written on my wall because
Yeah.
I think about it. I'm like, I know what he was trying to say, and I know how he meant it, but like I portray like, okay, so he said in the game there's two types of people in this game. There's pacers and there's racers. What are you? I'm like, shit, I'm both. Like, I want to be both. And I
Yeah.
know what he meant. Like, there's people that are slow and steady and
Yeah.
methodical, and then there's people that go fucking get it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to be both. I want to go fucking get it and just methodically break you down at the same time.
Yeah.
So, like, he's like, good, because I'm both. And I'm like, all right, bet. Okay, so we think the same.
Yeah.
Cool. And I have it written on my wall.
Damn near like a
Pacers and
trick question.
racers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, bro, I need to be both. But
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
But it is true, bro. There is one or the other, and I wanted to be both. And I've always wanted like whatever the best option is, that's what I want. So
Mhm.
when he told me that, like I didn't even second guess it. That's just what I said. I'm like,
Yeah.
both.
What was your first impression of Conor McGregor?
Ah, dude, he's a lot, man. He's a big old ball of energy, but he's a good dude, man. Getting to know him, first impression was obviously like how energetic he is and how over the top he is. But then I explain it to people like he's a good ass dude, bro. It's just like having a crazy ass best friend. They're like
Uh-huh.
you go to the club and you can't look away from him just in case he starts fighting.
Okay.
One of those. Like, but he's true, man. Like he came up from nothing. He made it, and he made sure all his people came with him. Like one of his best friends growing up, Dave, slapped the camera on him, and he's like, "Hey, bro, get right with this, cause you're my camera guy." And now
Yeah.
he's a really well known like he's the man. Like
Yeah.
he's such a good photographer, and a big theory of mine, like, and I hope you guys don't take it the wrong way, cause like I said, I'm an artist. So to me, my understanding might be a little different than yours, but to me, photography is just as much about your knowledge of your tools as it is about your connection. Cause like I'm a big fan of I don't know if you guys know who Mr. Cartoon is.
Mhm.
I'm
I
a big
don't.
fan of Mr. Cartoon. He's really known in LA street culture. Like get
He's
tattooed,
like-
Snoop Dogg tattooed,
Yeah.
Eminem and everything.
He's the reason why all rappers started getting tattoos, like
Yeah.
in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Okay.
legit
Yeah.
the
Like
reason.
tattooed
Tattoo
all of-
artist.
Yeah.
Yo, he's a graffiti artist,
Yeah.
and like he would do work on like lowriders and stuff like that, like true LA street cholo culture. And for getting a tattoo by Mr. Cartoon is like he ain't tattooing for a job.
Mhm.
That's not what he does.
Yeah.
But if you get a tattoo by him, it'd be like if I pulled out a machine and tattooed you right here, right now. That's what it is. But there's a dude, one of his best friends was a photographer.
Mhm.
And you know the little that?
Yeah.
He took the first picture of that. He made that a thing.
Yeah.
And the reason it's popular is not because of the sign, but because of who was holding those hands. And he took that picture with his connection because he was the one that was in that room. And you can't get in that room. So that's why I think Dave is such a good photographer, because you can't get in the rooms that he can get in,
Mhm.
you know? And that's why I'm always so passionate about like cutting hair. I'm like, you can't get to cut his hair.
Yeah.
I cut his hair because I'm like that, you know?
Yeah.
So like when it comes, like you work with high name people. You work with high name people. He works with high name people. And it's because of your talent level, but your connections
you
and
are,
who
yeah.
you are.
Mhm.
Like it takes a special somebody to go out there and do that. And that's why I take pride in what I do. And that's why I think he takes so much pride in what he does. He got pictures with Mike Tyson. You can't just go walk up to Mike Tyson and be like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with like Post Malone, like crazy names. And Connor put him on. So that's why I think Connor's such an influential dude. Like he's a good guy. He took care of all his people. His nutritionist is his homie. His coach is his homie. Everybody around him is paid, and they travel well, and they're all with him. So it's dope.
And when's your next fight? Do you already know when your next fight is?
I'm trying not to get too greedy, man. Right now, this is my first week back. I got back. I'm healthy. I feel great.
Yeah.
God willing, everything's good. Now I know I can do it. I trained my ass off this week. I trained hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Did awesome. So now I know that I can get back in there and I'm comfortable. So now it's time to start shopping around and seeing what's up. But tentatively, probably April.
Okay.
March before I start like competing in like jiu-jitsu and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But April is the first time I'll be able to probably entertain a fight because I need 8 weeks.
Yeah. And what organization are you fighting?
Fury FC, which is the #1 feeder for the UFC.
Okay.
Yeah, my next fight will most likely be there. So
Yeah.
it'll be cool. You know, they put on it's a good platform, man. It's almost like the reserves.
Okay.
And yeah, just to build myself back up to be back where I want to be, you know, get back up to the UFC and compete for an active roster spot, man. Get up there.
How many fighters are on the active roster?
In the UFC, probably like 1,000, a little over 1,000 probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really hard to get in there.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, it's not easy, bro. That's for damn sure. So, you know, getting up there, like I know it's right there. I've been right there multiple times. I'm right there. And I just got to go out there and prove it, you know, that I know that I'm one of the best in the world. So I just got to go out there and do my thing. That's it.
What do you think happened being right there, like you said so many times? What do you think happened for you where you weren't able to get right there? Was it a mindset thing in the moment, you think, or was it just up to chance?
One of the times it was a mindset thing. One of the fights I lost because of me.
Yeah.
And then another fight, a dude just went Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
It just threw a perfect flying knee at the perfect time, and it's kind of hard to be mad at something like that, you know, because he threw a perfect shot. Shout out Cody Gibson, man. He's the toughest dude I ever fought. And I knew going into that fight that I had my hands full, but I knew that was the best I had ever been, and that's why the fight was so competitive until it wasn't. You know, he threw a perfect shot, and he put me down, and he like just kept raining down shots and got the job done.
Yeah, but I think you're grateful for stuff like that, though, right? Because it makes you better, for sure.
Yeah, you know, it's just a part of my story, man. Like I said, I can control putting my best foot forward, but I can't control the outcome.
Yeah,
I can't go out there saying, okay, I did everything right. I'm gonna go out there and win. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go out there and perform to the best of my ability. I know that I can go out. I'm better than I was last time. I'm gonna go out there and show it.
Yeah,
you know, that's my thing. You know.
Yeah, man.
One thing I wanted to do with starting with this episode is ask the audience. So leave a comment and let us know, what would you name this episode? Because that's something I want to start doing.
That'd be cool.
Right now we're just naming it Something in the Water podcast. We'll put your name, episode 12. But I feel like there should be one main takeaway, and it allows the audience to be involved. And, you know, on YouTube at least, whatever comments have the most like upvotes, then
we'll make that it.
Make that it. Yeah.
What do you guys think so far? What do you think the episode could be called?
That's a good one.
That's a good
right
question,
there.
bro.
Yeah.
Like that's putting me on the spot.
I can start off. I'm gonna say I think it could be called being grateful for what you have, or being just grateful in general. I think just learning your story, it seems like even through all the defeats, you've been still grateful for what you're going through and grateful for your story.
Yeah.
I think mine would be More Than a Fighter.
Yeah,
I like that one.
You know?
Sounds like a Netflix documentary right
More
there.
Than a
Drink
fighter.
some water.
Drink some water.
Drink some water.
Drink some water and stretch.
That's it. Drink some water, stretch a little bit.
Yeah.
Nah. But hey, one thing that I forgot, we totally segued off of it.
Yeah.
But back to the when people talk shit about you.
Yeah.
Thing. I gotta finish that one off.
All right.
This is what I really think.
Yeah.
I remember how I told you like people will talk to me and be like, oh, I got my first fight, and I'm like, oh, talk to me after, whatever.
Yeah.
When it comes to somebody telling me that they beat me in a fight, and I know for a fact they're not a fighter and they've never lived it,
Yeah.
I almost wish I could stand in front of them and let them punch me in the face. I'd be like, punch me in the face. And when I don't move or when I don't react, I want to see how you look after that. Because I'm like, bro, even if you tried, you couldn't hit me that hard. Like, even if you tried. So to me, it's that laughable. It's like, you don't understand what I would do to you. So I can't even take that shit serious. But like people, it's a real sad day when people find out that they're not capable of true violence. Yeah. It's like when people really get put in a spot and they can't do what they think they can do, it's almost like it's life altering for sure. You know? That's why I've had people come up to me talking crazy in front of their kids. And I'm dead set on this.
In front of you?
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
in front of their kids?
In front of their kids. Come up to me talking crazy, and I'll notice that they're with their kids. And I'm like, I'm not going to do you like that, bro. Yeah. And I'll walk away. And I will take that. Oh, that's cool. If people watch it and I look like a bitch, whatever. Yeah. But I'm not going to do somebody like that in front of their kids. Because to those kids, you're their superhero. Yeah. And if I do you dirty, bro, like, that's on you. Same with somebody and their girl. Like I'm not gonna cross you in front of your girl.
Mm-hmm.
If you cross me and I'm in front of mine, I'll probably fuck around and kill you. But if I'm alone and you're crossing me and you got your girl around, bro, I'll try my hardest to stay out the way
Mm-hmm.
because people aren't ready to find out.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want to find out because most people aren't capable of violence.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. And I love violence. That's where my world starts.
Yeah.
You know, everything about my life is violence. So I don't know.
Do you feel like that's why people do challenge you though, because you are like a fighter?
Oh yeah, like
And
when
they're
I'm
kinda
in,
like-
It almost puts a target on your head. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
what
he's
I'm
the
saying,
fighter.
yeah.
Let me see what I got.
Man,
Yeah.
when
Come on, fighter
I'm
boy.
in Mexico, it's crazy, bro. When
Oh,
I'm
for
in
real?
yeah, people always want to check you out there. 'Cause,
That's
like,
crazy.
Like they're like, dude, this motherfucker be on TV. You know what I'm saying? And like
Yeah.
I'm from, like I said, I'm from the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's other people
somebody
that probably be like, he ain't shit.
yeah, and they're
Yeah.
like, they see you on TV and it's crazy.
It's like
They're
an opportunity for
shit.
them.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah, it's their opportunity. They're like, dude, you know I do this on TV, I knocked his ass out.
Yeah.
You know, some shit like
That
that.
kind of
But,
sucks though.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I
going
mean,
back to like living in Lansing, that is my fear though of becoming someone and being someone, and then when you do put yourself in those
Yeah.
situations to
Yeah.
where, like, let's say right now, tonight we all went to a local bar tonight.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
We're somebody's,
Yeah.
yeah.
so it actually puts a target on your head for a nobody that's like, I ain't got shit to lose. I'm envious and jealous of this person. Maybe I can make a name for myself, and I'm the one that like jumps him or kills him
Yeah,
or shoots
yeah,
him or does
yeah.
something, and
Yeah.
usually that's one of my fears.
Yeah. Well, that's really.
So I stay the fuck away from
Yeah, that's
it.
a realistic thing. I'm not gonna lie, because I've definitely heard a few things about bigger people coming to Lansing and other people be like, man, I could have killed them or something, you know. And then it's just
Yeah.
like the mindset though of like, bro, you're such a bitch for thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's some hater shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think just gotta stay away from people like that and just continue to follow your dream.
Dude, honestly, I take ultimate pride in my ability to just put out any fire.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's looking my way
Mm-hmm.
and like I could tell that they're up to no good, they're thinking something, plotting something, whatever, I won't move a muscle. I'll sit there, I'll enjoy my time, I'll
Mm-hmm.
talk to my girl. If anything, I'll make her aware of the situation. I'm
Yeah.
like, listen, that guy over there, he might do something stupid, but just don't even look over. Don't
Mhm.
like whatever. If he comes over here, just know, like, start the car because
Yeah.
we're gonna have to leave quick. And dude, I'm always ready. If
Yeah.
somebody really wants that, like, okay, we can do
Yeah,
it. But
yeah.
I don't know, bro. I'm not gonna lose. I'm not gonna change my day or change my plans
Yeah.
because some goofy thinks he can do something.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna do nothing.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna live my life and enjoy it, and you're gonna watch me enjoy it, and you're gonna feel like shit tomorrow,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna feel great tomorrow because I know I punked your ass out, and you didn't even say anything to
Yeah.
me.
Have you ever been approached by other fighters?
Oh yeah,
Like, in that way?
Oh yeah, definitely. A couple times, but again, things play out the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
The last dude that talked shit to me and talked crazy, didn't say anything to me in person. Always on some Facebook shit, and his record's like 4-4 as a pro or something like that. Like
Yeah.
never done shit. So I'm like, okay, cool. So
Yeah.
things play out the way they're supposed to. I don't pay
Yeah.
that shit no mind, man.
So it
Like
sounds
if
like,
you're barking at me, I'm not worried about you,
yeah.
man.
So it sounds like it's more about how you handle it rather than how somebody else
Yeah.
handles it. Yeah.
I feel good about how I handle shit. It
Yeah.
makes me feel that much more powerful
Yeah,
that
for
I can
sure.
negate a situation without even starting in it.
Mhm.
Like I don't even have to try. Why would I even pay you mine?
Yeah.
Like if I
for
see you
sure.
looking, if I look over at you and you're looking at me, and I look away, I already lost.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're gonna come up. Like
Yeah.
I'll just look at you, smile, and just keep about my day.
Yeah.
You know,
For sure.
it's funny to me.
I avoid that shit. I feel like that's being smart is like avoiding it.
Yeah,
And I feel like having a very attractive girl
yeah,
with you, it also like makes the target even more because
Yeah.
I was explaining to my girl one time, we were talking about the double standard.
yeah,
Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
I think that there is a double standard for girls and guys, like let's say with body counts, because as a man, our needs are, see, we took a wide right turn right here.
yeah,
As a man, our needs are like we're made to like hunt, and then we have testosterone, which makes us want that desire and stuff. So
Yeah.
I was saying, every single dude that work, say, a 9 to 5, and they're going out to the same bar every single Friday and Saturday, their ultimate home run grand slam of a plan is to take home a girl that night. So then when we're in a relationship with a girl and we bring them out, it's like the bait. We're bringing the bait out there, and all these wolves are like eyes on every single second, you know? And then we're the guy with them, so it's almost like inviting them. And then they're drunk too, so then it gives them that liquid courage
on top of that,
to maybe like try to touch our girl, try to talk to our girl, even when we're around it. Like raises the, I don't know, the odds of all that shit happening. So I was just telling her we shouldn't be in those places.
Yeah. I don't really think about that way though. I'm like I said, I'm really like him kind of in the sense where I be laughing at people. I be smiling. Like we were at the bar one time not too long ago, and me and my girl were on the way walking out, and I like looked to the right, and this dude turned around and like, you know, tried to look at her walking away and stuff, and he looked at me, and I just started laughing. And then it made him start laughing. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm just that type of person that's like, I know it. I know it's going to happen, so I understand it. But I promise you, if you try me or my girl or any of this situation, like, you're going to lose your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm not playing about anybody else around me. So I feel like it's kind of like that's how I play it, where it's like, you know, you just laugh because it's like diffusing the situation. Yeah. As long as you're comfortable with yourself, it's like everything else don't even matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. To me, man, it's like, I tell my girl all the time, like, it comes with the territory. Yeah. Like, if you got a baddie, like, to me, my girl's that's the most beautiful girl in the world. Yeah. So like, I already know, like, if I take my girl out, somebody gonna look no matter what.
For sure.
Yeah. It's like, go ahead. You can look if you want to. I ain't gonna take it no type of personal because I look at her too. She's beautiful. Yeah. But on the other hand, I'm gonna put that fire out way before it starts. Yeah. If you even think you're coming close, I'm gonna go ahead and let you just. Like, you give somebody enough rope, they're going to hang themselves with it. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Go ahead. I'm like, my ultimate feel-good moment is putting that fire out before it even begins. Yeah. You know? Most people will never cross me in the first place, and they won't. You know? And if someone thinks they will, okay, let's see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I'm cool with it either way. I've already accepted it, you know? My girl's already accepted it. This is my line of work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if I really had to do something, I would do it. But I'm never gonna have to. And I'm thoroughly convinced that I will never have to do that.
Maybe it's my long-term vision then, because I see what happens after. Nowadays, it doesn't happen. Like, let's say right now we go outside and we're walking to the store. Something like that happens, and we win that. What they say, lose the battle, win the war. Yeah. So let's say we win the battle though, and we beat some guy's ass. Yeah. He sees our face, right? Yeah. I'm out for revenge. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to murder you. They think like that because I had a situation at my last recording studio. This is before we locked the doors and had 3 different doors that someone would have to get through to get into the recording studio. Yeah. There was a time where someone could actually walk off the street, come into the building, go down in the basement, and be right at my door. Yeah. And so I had a 5-hour session one night with a street artist, right? Yeah. Big guy too, like 6'2", 6'3". Yeah. So I know him alone could fully handle this guy. I know myself alone, I could fully handle this guy. But long story short, there used to not be smoking in the studio. Yeah. So I was kind of used to, especially during the summer, I'd have a session. Let's say you had a 5-hour session, and then you're like, I'm gonna go out to the car and smoke. I'm like, all right, cool. So you just kind of go out, and then maybe Mark walks in, and it's like you invited him to your session. So people would kind of come in, come out. Well, I had a homeless looking guy kind of walk in the studio, and he's talking to himself. Motherfucking bullshit. What kind of bullshit? Blah, blah, blah. And the guy's music's playing that was doing the session with me. Yeah. So, and I'm seeing the guy, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, he must be here with the artist. The artist comes back in, and he's doing one of these, like, you know, dude? I was like, hey, are you here with Mo? Mo, who the fuck Mo? Man, boss man said come to the studio. I'm at the motherfucking studio. Boss man, who the fuck Mo? Turn this bullshit off. I was like, oh yeah, bro, this is a private recording studio. You gotta have a session. Like, he's booked here. You can't be here. Yeah. What you mean you can't be here? Boss man said come to the motherfucking studio, man. What kind of bullshit is this shit? Hey, you gotta go. You gotta go, okay? All right, so he had 3 bags of them, like homeless people. They just carry around a bunch of random ass shit, right? So he grabs one bag, but he's like dragging his feet, like walking really slow. He's talking shit. Now he's starting saying racial shit, like crack ass, white motherfucking bitch, blah, blah, blah. Gets to the door with one thing. So this is kind of tying in with the whole like bar situation. Yeah. So gets the first door out. Then he comes back, he's getting the second. And he's talking shit about me the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So in the moment, I could be like, oh, you don't disrespect me, I'm gonna beat your ass. But
Yeah.
I'm in my place of business that I'm gonna come to tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. So
yeah, you gotta be real smooth.
I gotta be smart here. And it happened very fast. So he gets to his last bag, he gets out the door, I slam it and lock it. And then he starts hitting on the door.
Yeah.
And the guy I'm in the session with, he's like, hey, Crack, open the door. We drag him outside, throw him out there. And I was like, no, because you're going to leave and go home. Then I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
Like, what's stopping him from coming right back with more people or whatever? And I'm going to be here tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And so then, I was like, I talked to my dad about it. He was like, take a shotgun up there. Keep a shotgun with you. And I was like, I just want to avoid the whole situation. And like, so we put these 3 different doors that people have to get through to prevent that shit from ever happening again.
Yeah.
And I knew that if we would have beat his ass, now he's always gonna have that revenge in him to where he's like, oh, I gotta get mine back because I let you get yours. So I'd rather just lose the battle. Hey, whatever, you got kicked out of the building, we locked you out, but there's not that revenge that he needs in there to like make up for being embarrassed of getting his ass beat or getting jumped or
I feel that.
Yeah, being the diffuser.
Hell yeah.
It'd be almost like if I was getting my hair cut, in your shop, and Martin was maybe with me, and then maybe Martin said something and it rubbed you the wrong way, but then you're thinking like, okay, let me be smart right here.
Yeah.
This is where I live. I'm gonna be here tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day. You know that you can beat, let's say it's not Martin, but someone else.
Yeah.
You can win this battle right here and beat their ass, but who is this person?
Yeah.
The type of mindset that they're in right now to even get to this place of talking shit to me, disrespecting me. They don't have it all up there.
Yeah.
So just the type of person that would do that type of thing is capable of doing a lot more dumb things from the mindset that they have to be in to even do the thing in the first place.
That's why you don't go to bar.
So I just try to avoid the bars because I don't want to give an opportunity for someone to see an opportunity to attempt to make a name for themselves.
Yeah. Well, my thing is like, I don't know if we should have went over this from the beginning. I'm not about bars, period.
Yeah.
I don't have no relation and nothing in common with nobody at no regular ass rinky dink ass bar.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to a nice sit down restaurant with my girl, get a nice meal, and order a nice drink.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Give me a little Moscow Mule or something, and just sip on that, enjoy it. Nobody bothers me. Like if I go anywhere, I might fuck around and go to the Graduate because like that's like an older.
Where is that?
Bro, it's at the top of the Graduate Hotel. It's like a rooftop bar in Lansing. It's nice.
I thought you said you've been there.
Bro, it's the spot.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's
the spot, bro. It's nice.
Yeah.
We should go.
Let's go there.
Let's go.
For sure.
Let's pull up. It's nice, bro. It's a good place.
Have you been to Toscana yet?
No.
You gotta try that.
I gotta check that out.
It's across from Frandor.
Oh,
the new hotel and stuff they built.
Yeah.
It's like a fancy restaurant there. You gotta try that one too.
That's what's up. I want to check that out. I heard about the restaurant there. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they sell food at the place you're talking about?
No, it's just a bar there. But it's a nice chill bar. Good vibes, like just real traditional looking. And
is it
it's
like
real
dress
smooth.
up?
Not necessarily dress up, but and there's no college kids are going there. It's not like it's my type of crowd. No, ain't nobody bothering you. Nobody's looking at you.
Yeah.
Like I my thing is like I'll go anywhere. If I'm with my girl, I will not go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm same way. Yeah.
If I'm with my girl, it's my responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I act a lot different now than I did when I was single.
Yeah.
Because now I know like that's a part of me. Like somebody might fuck around. God forbid somebody just sees her walking around and they feel some type of way about me, so they want to go press my girl or some random shit. I don't know. You don't know that. So, especially when she's up there and has her own status and she's doing her own thing when she graduates, it's not far from now. So who knows? But yeah, that's what I'm about, bro. I'm not going to no bar where it's like the high school lunch table in those motherfuckers, man. Like people are paying to be 6 inches off the ground with a little couch or something. Like you paid all for this luxury to sit down and shit, paying like quadruple the price for a bottle. Fuck all that. I'm good. Those people are like, I don't know. If you're at the bars, I ain't saying nothing's wrong with you, but you could do something better with your time. That's all I'm saying.
Good
Yeah, I see
point.
what you're saying. I throw events, so it's a little bit different for me. That's why I go. I usually do all the video work there,
Yeah.
but I feel like in Lansing per se, it's not a lot of like culture
Yeah.
when it comes to like events. Like
Yeah.
I feel like if you look around, it's a lot more. No disrespect, correct? But it's a lot of white people. You know what I'm saying?
He
so
just threw it out there.
so usually, you know, the events we throw, it's more like R&B type vibes where it's
Yeah.
like black and brown people. So we've
Yeah.
been trying to promote that around the city. That's why I do it. But if it wasn't for any of that, I definitely wouldn't be at any bars either, to be honest.
No, that's the thing. Like, I feel like even when you throw an event, like there's a flex to, I don't know, man. To me, anytime I step out,
Yeah.
it's meant to be enjoyed.
Yeah, exactly.
So to me, there's like, it makes me feel really good
Mhm.
when I get dressed up all nice.
Yeah.
Me and my girl are looking good. We step out, we go to a nice restaurant, have a nice meal, go home, no problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's cool. Like, if it was like an event, like if I go to your event,
Yeah.
like there, I will pay for a section. There,
Mhm.
I will have
Yeah.
my nice drinks with me.
Yeah.
There, me and my girl are chilling, vibing, having a good
Mhm.
time, and we go home.
Yeah.
You know, if that was the case, I'd go to those shits every time.
Yeah.
But that's rarely the case.
Yeah.
And I wish other people thought like that.
Mhm.
Like, what happened to just going and having a good time places? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
that's my thing. Like, at the end of the day, you're spending money regardless. You're spending money wherever the fuck you go.
Mhm.
So why not spend money to have a good time at a good place with good food and good drinks and just chill?
Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. I
Yeah.
think that's a good note to
Yeah.
wrap it up, you
Hell
guys.
yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in. Where can everyone follow you?
On Instagram, Mando. Oh no, that's not it. On Instagram, it's El Toro Gutierrez.
And for everyone that doesn't speak
Oh yeah,
Spanish,
ELTOROGUTIERREZ.
that's
Nice
El
and easy.
Toro,
El
guys.
Toro. All right. And then if you want to check out my barber stuff and my art stuff, Mando Cut It, same thing. Obviously Mando Gutierrez MMA on YouTube, all that good stuff's on there, and just check it out, man.
What about even how did someone book you for a haircut?
It's all right there on
Okay.
Mando Cut It.
Okay, cool.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's all select clientele, so
Okay.
it's all DMs, and if I accept it, great. If I don't, I'll get you in eventually.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure,
But
maybe.
yeah, it's
Maybe.
cool. Maybe.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
maybe.
saying? We'll see
Yeah.
what happens. But I appreciate you guys having me on, man. It was
Absolutely.
dope to chop it up, man.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna let that shit go about the graduate. We definitely
Yeah,
gonna
for
check it
sure.
out.
We're gonna
I
go.
want to,
We're gonna
yeah.
go now.
For sure.
All right, everyone. Subscribe on YouTube. Please leave a 5-star rating. Tag us on Instagram. Mine is Cracka_lack.
Mine is Desko Martin.
And I will
It's
see.
Toro Gutierrez.
Yep. See you guys next time.
See ya.